You know, when we think about Lent, our minds usually go straight to what we're giving up, right? But what if the real point is about what we gain? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful message for this season, one that weaves together faith, hardship, and, believe it or not, a whole lot of hope. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like the beginning of a pretty epic joke, right? A desert nomad, an apostle in chains, and a shining mountaintop. What do they have in common? Well, the answer is actually at the core of everything we're talking about today. Turns out, the connection between these three gives us an incredible spiritual roadmap for navigating the challenges we all run into in life.
Okay, first things first, let's kind of reframe how we're looking at this. It's so easy to get stuck on Lent being just about giving stuff up, but it's so much more than that. The readings for this particular Sunday, they really invite us to see this whole season as a deliberate spiritual journey. You could even call it a pilgrimage.
So, what does that even mean, a Lenten pilgrimage? Well, just think of it as a journey you take on purpose to get ready for something big. And you know who our first model for this is? It's the story of Abraham. His call to just get up and go, step out into the complete unknown with nothing but faith to guide him, that really sets the template for the kind of journey we're all invited to take.
And here's what's so cool about this. It's incredibly practical. These ancient readings, they're not just dusty old stories. They're basically handed to us as a spiritual toolkit, packed with everything we need for the road ahead. So you ready? Let's pop it open and see what we've got.
All right, the first tool, the one everything else is built on, is faith. And there is seriously no better example of what this looks like in action than Abraham's unbelievable call to just start walking. I mean, just stop and think about this for a second. He's told to leave everything, his country, his family, his entire life, basically. And where is he going? To some land that God says he'll show him, eventually. The amount of trust needed to do that is just staggering. It's a total leap of faith into the dark, based on nothing more than a promise. And what this does so well is lay out the three basic steps for any journey of faith, really. First, you got to hear the call, right? And accept it. Second, and this is the hard part, you have to actually start. Take that first step. And third, you have to keep trusting the promise, even when you have absolutely no idea where you're going. Okay, so faith gets you started, but any long trip needs fuel to keep going, right? That brings us to the second tool in our kit, endurance. And for this one, we're going to look at the words of the Apostle Paul. You know, one thing I love about Paul is how real he is. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He basically says, yep, this is going to be hard. You will face challenges, but, and this is the absolute key, he says you're not meant to face it with your own power. The strength you need to endure comes from somewhere else, from the power of God. The hardship and the power to get through it, they come as a package deal. So we've got faith to get us off the starting line, and we've got endurance to keep us on the path. But why? What's the point? What keeps you going when it gets tough? Well, that brings us to our third and maybe most powerful tool, a little glimpse of the finish line. And we see this in the story of the Transfiguration. So, the Transfiguration, it's this mind-blowing moment where Jesus takes a few of his closest friends up a mountain, and just for a second, his true divine glory is revealed. It's like a trailer for the movie, a sneak peek of the victory at the end of it all. And why did this happen? It was specifically to strengthen them, to give them something to hold on to for the terrible hardship they were about to face with the cross. And that's exactly the power it has for us too. Getting a glimpse of that glorious destination, even for a moment, it changes everything. It gives you the hope you need to see the tough parts of the journey as not just something to get through, but as something meaningful. It's a reminder of what all this is for, where we're headed. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. We've got these three big ideas, right? But they're not separate little lessons. They're designed to fit together, to form one big, powerful message for our own lives, for our own journeys. And here's the main takeaway, the so what of all this. Yes, Lent is a time for sacrifice, for penance. But this particular Sunday is dropped right in the middle for a reason, to give us a shot of hope. It's this beautiful reminder that the struggle itself isn't the goal. The struggle is just the path to something incredible. And look, this chart just lays it out so clearly. You've got Abraham, his journey was all about faith, so our call is to trust. Then you have Paul, who put up with so much hardship, calling us to endure. And finally, Jesus, who showed his glory, which calls us to hope. Trust, endure, hope. I mean, that's the roadmap right there.
So this all leads to a really big question for us, for you and me. When we look at our own lives, at the things we're struggling with, the challenges we're facing, can we use this roadmap? Can we start to see them not as roadblocks that stop us, but as part of the path? A path that started with trust, kept going with endurance, and is leading somewhere full of hope.
And maybe the best way to wrap this all up is with this simple but really powerful prayer. It's a great thought to carry with us on the road ahead. Lord, transfigure our hearts. Lead us through Lent to Easter joy.